Okay, so this player's name is Piplup. He is I guess a Sejuani player. He's playing with a Jax, really strong 2v2 right here. With Katarina, stronger in the mid game, and a scaling bot lane of Ezreal Veigar that's pretty weak. They're pretty susceptible to ganks, but they've got lots of range. They're playing against a Gwen, very hardcore scaling. Not too strong early on, but he does have Ignite. Hecarim is a scaling champion. TF is a scaling champion. He has good early game pressure, but it's really about his level 6 plays on the side of the map. And Aphelios and Rel, really strong 2v2 bot lane, very strong scaling. Not too much damage early on. So it looks like they really have winning matchups kind of in the bottom and top. Maybe it's a little bit more balanced in the mid 2v2, but I could easily see that going over to Sejuani. I think he pretty much has really strong lanes for this whole game. Yellow card comes in. Looks like the other team tried to invade, but they weren't all there, so that's a free kill for the Katarina. That is going to be really good for their team. Katarina could easily take over this game. We're doing a red start clear, so we're going to be clearing up, and we're going to be playing around our 2v2 top lane. I think this is a really good decision by Piplup because bot lane I think is going to be just farming the whole time with Veigar and Ezreal. Okay, we're doing Raptors. There's nothing really going on. I'm not sure. He's playing lock screen or at least holding spacebar, so he doesn't see a lot of stuff. But in this situation, he should be looking at the map. And since you are ending topside, if I were him, I would be clicking on top lane to see what's going on up there while I'm farming. Okay, look, he actually ends up doing it mid. That's really good. There's a little bit of an informational ping. Once again, kiting the camps. That looks really good. We're getting blue buff. Hecarim should be a little bit ahead of us, I think, here by like 5 or 6 seconds. So I'm assuming Hecarim's probably already started his Krugs. We're starting to start Gromp. By the time we kill Gromp, Hecarim is ganking top, actually. So we're a little bit behind. He does have mid-prio, I believe. So as long as Katarina comes up, he should be fine. I think he actually wins this 1v1 early on because of his Aftershock. This is really strong. They both have red buff. Hecarim gets his healing here. He gets the CC, but actually I noticed right there, he CC'd. Sejuani boop pushes people a little bit, so he actually booped him into the bush. It would have been ideal for him to use his Trinket Ward right here so that the Katarina could insta-jump on him. That's just a bit of a min-max, so it's not super big. Okay, there goes the charge. Ooh, that flash was useless. Once Hecarim's Ghost and E, so that was his E charge, Hecarim has nothing left. He can't flash, he can't ult, he's only level 4, so there's nothing else Hecarim can do except for walk auto Q, which is enough to kill him, but it looks like he wasn't in range of that. So I think this was a fear flash, and it's definitely something to consider. So that was a bit of a micro mistake there. I wonder if Katarina is able to clean this up. Awesome, super good. This Katarina, okay, at this point in the game, he should be playing around exclusively the Katarina. Maybe counter-ganking Hecarim after he clears, but Katarina is probably the win con here. So I'd like to see him play around Katarina. Here, he should reset. As you can see at the bottom here, his camp is coming up. It's already at the gold mode, which I believe is like 15 seconds until it spawns. So he needs to reset right here, and he only has half health. Staying, so it's also good to notice, he kills this at 4:06, roughly. He should back, which would take 8 seconds, and be back on his camp within 15. He should be back at his camp at about 4:30. But it looks like he's getting baited into doing something, and this is really bad. A lot of lower-level junglers try to look for fights and help their lanes. I like that he's playing around the Katarina, but this is a very poor tempo decision. Well, he's trying to get tempo and play on the map and pressure people, but this wave's huge. She's fine to farm this. He really should be looking to get himself free gold and XP at Krugs. They're now spawned, and he has probably delayed himself by about 15 seconds. Now he's getting baited into going top. Honestly, this fight is over. I think if she doesn't have Ignite, Jax wins this 1 versus 1. And since Hecarim ganked top, you know Hecarim is actually on the bottom side of the map. He should not be going up there. There's no way they get this kill. Jax even wins this 1v1 early, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Jax does. Okay, he's going to hit a W, but Gwen's going to get out. There's no way. Yeah, so he has wasted like 30 seconds since we first talked about backing at 4:06. He wards this, goes over here, looks bottom. Hecarim's down here getting kills. He backs. Okay, it's good that he's finally backing because he... Oh, no. Okay, he's resetting because he really wants to help his laner. And it's good. He should be playing around his solo lanes because even here, once again, you can't see, but, you know, the Katarina is popping off. But the thing is, when you have a winning mid laner, The fact that he's trying to help his lane so much has put him back almost a minute in his clear. This is really bad. He finally resets, gets bombies, and runs to his Krugs, but see, Hecarim's already on them. So this was a complete mistake. He should have been recycling his camps, because you can see his Raptors and his Wolves are up. So those were definitely a higher priority than just coin flipping potential ganks top. So he definitely risked it and got punished. Let's see what happens. I'm assuming by the way this has started that there's going to be lots of fighting. Okay, it looks like his bot lane and his mid lane are here. This is good that he's playing around his Katarina. Once again, she is the win con. If Hecarim goes up, then their bot lane is a little out of position. Okay, their Aphelios overstepped. Rel hits a big combo, but they're definitely going to die here. And Aphelios walked back into the event horizon, so they're both fucking dead. Piplup should be doing his Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Gromp, and then playing around topside Scuttle or his solo lanes. And since his Jax is doing okay and his Katarina's doing really well, it should probably be around middle. But instead, he went bottom and got a kill here. This is really good. It's good that he picked up these kills, but let's see if he goes back to his farming route. Since he delayed so much on his second clear, his buff is actually going to spawn here after Raptors, so it looks like he goes to his buff here. Bot lane's getting pressured. He should be looking, so once a Sejuani and really any large ultimate champion like TF, Lissandra, those aren't junglers, but maybe Jarvan, these champions really want to make plays at level 6 because their ults are huge. Amumu. So he should be looking to get 6 as soon as possible, which I believe from this position, I think he needs probably 1.5 more camps. So he should probably do Wolves and Gromp, and that would set him up for 6. He didn't get 6 off of Wolves. This is a big mistake. Once again, this is the second time, maybe even third time, that he is going to pressure a lane instead of farming camps. And if it works out for him, that's great, but I'm not sure. Okay, he goes over a pink ward. Okay, he Qs, TF responds. If Piplup had level 6 here, he would have gotten this kill. But since he dilly-dallied so much in his jungle, he's not able to fight. TF stuns him here, and then I'm assuming nothing happens because TF doesn't have enough damage to kill. He gets 6 off of the pink ward and starts Herald. It wasn't very optimal. It's good that he's getting Herald, but it wasn't optimal that he didn't get his blue yet. Katarina gets a roam bottom, it looks like. He gets Herald. He might be able to solo this guy, but if Hecarim shows up, I'm not really sure. Okay, you get the auto W. E into auto attack. He's spacing really well. I like that he's backing up here. And then he baits the TF in with a QW. So what I'm noticing is that Piplup's abilities, like his micro on Sejuani's really good. He's doing the correct combos, and he's linking together all of Sejuani's innate CC. He goes for a Herald play middle. I wonder if he can get all of the tower. It's close. Nice. A bit greedy. I think Hecarim could have come out of somewhere and killed them. I don't like them overextending. Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, this is like the third example of him overextending and fighting. And see, okay, so if you remember the first flash he did was in top river here, and it ended up being useless. He did it because he was afraid of the Hecarim. Here is almost the same thing. Hecarim ults on top, TF sitting there, and he locked a blue card and he flashes. This flash is not going to help him. This is the second flash he's wasted where he's pretty much just going to die. Because Hecarim has Ghost and E, and he's just going to run him down. So, he's actually getting out. He might be able to get out. Wait, but his Bombies is going to act... Okay, his Bombies pissed off the dragon, and then the dragon ended up killing him. But once again, that's the second flash that he used. That wasn't useful. It was a complete waste because it didn't end up saving him in the long run. And I just want to point out, notice how they're fighting in River right now, and there's 6 camps up in his jungle. I'm not saying that fighting is 100% the wrong answer, but the fact that he's leaving gold on the table by not clearing the free camps that he could get is kind of unfortunate, especially with Bombi Cinder, which helps him clear. Teasing the idea of Dragon. They're wasting a lot of time in River. Katarina gets jumped on. Turning is the correct call. Huge ult by him. WW. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so once again, the Sejuani mechanics are looking really good. They are invading his blue. Let's look on the map, though. So, Hecarim, Gwen, and I think TF might still have ult. I'm not sure. I don't really know. I'm not in this game. So that's a little scary. This is a 3-on-1. But if you notice, mid and top can easily collapse on this, and he's fine. So as long as he stays alive and plays close to them... Okay, his R actually is a bit of a waste here. I don't know why he R'd here. He should have played slower. by holding a lot of his abilities, because that actually turned on his Radiant Virtue, which is going to heal him for nothing because he's got full health, and it wasted his Aftershock, so that's a bit of an unfortunate play. He should have saved it for whenever Jax and Katarina both showed up. He W'd the buff, which is not good. He easily could have just smited it. He should have probably put his pink in this bush and played on the buff. Now, even though this was a good invade by them at first, they're overextending. Ezreal ult comes in. Let's see how they win this 2v2. They definitely win this 2v2 as long as they focus the same target. So Hecarim is the focus. Hecarim's kind of getting out. Gwen's a little bit closer. It looks like they're very split. Right now, he should Q smite down and kill this Gwen. Yeah, they didn't focus the same targets. And so this play is half Piplup's fault and half the Jax's fault. They should have fought whoever was closer together, which in the beginning of this fight was the Hecarim, I believe. Like at this moment right here when he ults in, Hecarim is now closer to everybody. But then as Hecarim ghosts out, the Gwen becomes the more proximal target. They should both be focusing Gwen right here. Also, he has Smite, and Smite is really strong, Red Smite, so he should probably smite one of them. So this is a bit of lack of resources. And this is the third flash he did as a complete waste. In this moment, in this little picture right here, he is completely fucked. There's nothing he can do, and he has flash. Even if you wanted to make a case for him using flash, it should be over a wall or something. It should be to create a lot of space. This flash right here, yeah, it gets him onto the Scuttle Shrine, but you're, once again, just like the last death, you're still going to get run down by Hecarim. So there's no point in flashing. This doesn't do anything for you. And now we're farming this. The next objective is Baron, but since Baron is a spooky objective to do, you don't really want to rush it because you could easily get flipped and die. Looks like there's combat in middle. It's probably good that he's running straight there. This is good. This should be good for him if the Katarina stays alive. Oh, he has a great window in. I don't know if they all hit anybody. It looks like it might have had a positive impact, but it's hard to say. Okay, we secure. Great smite. Amazing smite. Everyone should learn from this. He waited until 1190. Smite does 1200. That is a great time to smite. Really strong. Gwen's coming in. This is not a position where we want to fight. This is a position where we want to run. So he should just get his passive off on her and E and then run away. This Q is not very good. Remember, if you want to get away from somebody, use your gap closers over walls if your champion can do that. Here he should get his auto on. He should auto, E-stun her, and then Q away. Or just Q her and run. There's a lot of different ways, but he just used Q. This is the 4th time he's used Flash, and then he walks back, so he's just going to end up dying anyways. Okay, so usually in a VOD review, what I like to do is pick out the thing that I'm noticing consistently. He has used his Flash 4 times, and 4 out of 4 times it's got him nothing. The first Flash was just because he was afraid, and the Hecarim wasn't going to kill him. And then the following 3 flashes were actually completely useless. He would flash away and then still end up getting chased down. So that is a huge thing for him to think about. It's like, man, just save your flash if you're going to die. Just die with grace and glory and go down with the ship and say, okay, you know what? I'll save it for the next time. Or flash over walls. You know, make it to where it's a better flash. And if you can't get to that flash, don't use it. It's too long of a cooldown to be wasting like this. This is an example of needing to play in front of your team. He's positioned really well right now. They're very split, but most of them are in lane. He is frontlining really well. So notice, to play in front of your team, Ezreal just flashed up. This flash sucks. That's okay. Our teammates sometimes suck. When Ezreal E's forward right here, he should be using his Q to peel for Ezreal and keep people off the quarterback, you know what I'm saying? But instead, he chases the support, and then guess what these guys can do? Yeah, exactly. They immediately turn on the Ezreal. So learning to frontline does not mean just moving forward blindly. It means playing in front of the people that matter, which in this case was the Ezreal, who did a very poor flash. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be one of the last team fights if I'm looking at the time correctly. So he engages on the support. That's okay. It's fine that he does that. But once again, frontlining is about being a front-pushing force. But playing front to back means you need to make sure you are spacing for the people behind you. There's a reason why the quarterback in American football plays right behind the line, usually. Because you need to be playing as a unit. If he cues forwards, it's like Malphite syndrome. He shoots off and then he can't help anybody. So I'm worried about them now counter-engaging. So this is a 4-on-4. I think they win this 4-on-4. But if I'm him, if I'm Piplup in the situation, I'm thinking, okay, the Rel could engage on my whole team, but this is one of their biggest carries. This Gwen right here, she needs to die. So he needs to R her right now. And that would turn on his Radiant Virtue, which would be really good for early healing in the fight. It would stop one of their damage sources. It would allow people to follow up, even though she's got missed. But now it looks like the Rel is hitting a massive engage. Huge wombo by them. He probably should have pulled the trigger on his ult a little bit earlier. Notice how the healing hasn't started yet because he's got Radiant Virtue, which is really good if you use your ult early in a team fight. But he used it really late. He's also playing with Katarina, and Katarina likes to dive. Yeah, this would have been a lot better if he either dove better with the Katarina or used his ult to peel earlier on. Yeah, they just got hit by a massive wombo. So he didn't really, his positioning was good. He just didn't have the urgency to turn on his ult and his Radiant Virtue, I think. Another way to play this out also is if he thinks Katarina's going to go like Dicko mode and dive the backline, he could throw his ult at the Jhin, or not Jhin, Aphelios, and then maybe that would help him cut some of the damage coming in from their backline, and Katarina could probably quadra kill here. So there's two ways he could play it. He could either go hard on the diving front line or go hard on their backline, and he didn't really do either one, so it was more of a late ult here. Let's look at the flashes. Okay, so this is his 5th flash of the game. Remember, we're building consistent evidence on what we should fix. So what is going on here? Okay, this flash, once again, he didn't flash an ability. He didn't flash a skill shot. He didn't flash damage even. He was just afraid of these 3 people. And we all do this. He was afraid of these 3 people. And so he flashed. This is a complete waste of flash. Huge waste. Completely waste. It doesn't do anything for him. So, to me, at this point in the VOD review, I'm noticing his mechanics are awesome. He usually lands all of his ults. He CC chains extremely well. He shows up to every objective, but his weaknesses, I would say, are positioning in team fights, learning when to clear his camps. He gets baited into fights he shouldn't go to. He should clear his camps, and then his flashes. He wasted 5 out of 5 flashes. So that is probably what I would say is one of the most important things he should fix. Other than that, I think he's a great Sejuani player. He plays team fights. He goes and shows up to objectives. So he definitely has a lot of potential to grow, especially in that flash department and learning when and when not to fight, which is an extremely difficult thing for junglers to learn. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Piplup, good luck in your games. I hope you learned something from this. If anyone has any questions, feel free to message me on Discord or in my Discord. So until then, catch you later.